Are you trying to decide which decks to buy? If so, this video is going to tell you everything you need to know. Hello, what's up YouTube, and welcome to this episode of Road to Professional DJ. In this episode, I'm going to go over all the basics you need to understand before deciding which decks you're going to buy. Now, the very first point I want to start on is actually a question for you. You need to decide what ambition level are you going in at? Are you literally just buying some decks so you can have a bit of fun at home in your bedroom, maybe play them at a little party or a pre-drinks? Or are you serious about trying to make it as a DJ? Because those two different points of view really do require a different entry point into the game and a different level of consideration as to where and what you should be buying to start off. So, first and foremost, I wanted to let you guys know the sort of deck level journey I've been on throughout my short career and where I'm up to so far. So, the very first decks I had, I bought off a friend. He paid about 100 quid for them. I then bought them off him for about £50 once he scaled up. And they were the Hercules DJ Control Instinct. Now, as I say, they were worth about £100, £120 new when he got them. I believe you can pick them up for sort of £75, £80 now. And to be honest, if you're just playing for fun or for small parties and gatherings, and which is nothing too serious, that is all you need. You do not need to be spending hundreds of pounds on decks with all these different functions and complexities, and also things that are potentially going to confuse you as a novice if you are really just in it to have fun. That's a really, really good place to start off with. You don't want to be jumping in at the deep end too soon and find out you can't swim and then just getting completely turned off by the topic and trying to learn how to DJ because the decks you've bought are just far too complicated. The next decks, I didn't actually buy these ones, but I had an awful lot of experience on them. The first one was remember the name, the Newmark Mix Track 3. This was the decks I used in my 17-night residency in Vietnam. Yes, believe it or not, I was only using sort of £200, £300 decks whilst I was doing my residency, purely based on the fact that just money out there does not go as far, or should I say they just don't really have the money to splash out on those sort of things. You've got to remember these are sort of Western gadgets which are still going at Western prices when the price of a beer out there is sort of 5 times less than it would be out here, or even more sometimes. But that was one of the decks I had a lot of experience on. And then another one was the Tractor S4, which I've actually got up here, which I still use. This is actually my friend's. I'm borrowing his for a few months when he's off travelling. But this was the second sort of decks I spent a lot of time on. And they were really, really good, sort of mid-range level, lots of different functions. You've got the filter on there, the special effects and stuff like that. And to be honest, I wouldn't recommend anyone who's a novice going any higher than that. Those are sort of £400 or £500. I mean, you really, really do not want to be spending any more money on that if you're a complete novice, because you're going to be jumping in too far in the deep end. Something like this, which I'll go over in a minute, is just going to be too much, and you do not want to be starting there. So, then on talking about what I've got now, as you can see, I've got the XDJ 700 here, with the DMJ 450 mixer in the middle there, 2-channel mixer. This is the sort of level I'm at now, and I would call this sort of mid to high range. These are sort of the cheapest professional decks you can get. And I use the word cheap, I don't know if that's the right word. They did cost me £1,700, so they are really, really expensive, but it's the sort of thing, if you want to be able to walk into a club and use the decks that they're going to have, which are a really professional standard, you need to be able to get familiar. You need to be able to get familiar with decks like this because they run on the same sort of way. You don't need a computer to operate them. You can use the screens in front of you there to do your mixing. So if you can sort of get to this level, then you can walk into most clubs and at least be sort of competent on the decks they've got in front of you there. The next level would be sort of Nexus 2000s, which are sort of £2,000 each, and then the DMJ 1000 4-channel mixer, which is like £1,000. So even for like a basic setup, you're looking at sort of a £5 investment. Please, unless you're really, really loaded and you've got just money to burn, do not please do not jump in at that end, because you're just going to be out of your depth. You're going to be completely out of your depth, and it's going to be a big mistake. And the final topic and question that often comes up when talking about DJ decks is the software. What software should you run with your controller or DJ mixers? Now, that can really depend on which controller or mixers you get. For example, if you get Pioneer decks, you're going to be running Rekordbox. If you get Traktor decks, you're going to be running Traktor. Other decks, such as the Numark ones, you can use a variety. You can pick whether you want to use Serato, Traktor, or what's the other one? Serato, Traktor, or Pioneer, of course, which is the Rekordbox one. You can then sort of have a bit of flexibility and choose which is my favourite. To be honest, I think they were really similar. Like, to be completely honest, some people get preferences and say that they're all Traktor. Traktor's much better. Traktor's much more professional. I've seen DJs, really good DJs in clubs using Serato. Rekordbox has got the sort of, Rekordbox, which is with Pioneer, has got the sort of, it's often seen as the sort of top level one. Maybe it's a little bit better in my opinion, but for beginners, do not worry about which one you're going to be going on to. There's not going to be an awful lot of difference in between them. And even if you're then locked in with one, like, don't worry about it. Don't focus too much attention on that. You've got much more important things to be worrying about than which software you're going to end up on. Perhaps picking the correct controller is more important, or the correct decks is more important than the software that will go with it. So, as I say, I wouldn't worry about that too much. Right, now that just about ties up this video. If you enjoyed this video or found it a really good value or interesting or anything like that, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help me out on this channel to try and get a bit more exposure and trying to get a bit more people watching these videos. And also, if you are new to DJing, I want to try and help as many people as possible to become a DJ. I'm currently running a sort of challenge for myself where I want to turn 10 people from bedroom DJs to club DJs. So if you've got the ambition to become a club DJ and you just don't know where to start, let me know, drop me a comment, message me, because I really want to help people. I want to try and help 10 people make it from a bedroom to a club DJ. So if you are one of those people, then definitely let me know. If not, make sure you hit the subscribe button for more good stuff coming soon.